Welcome to Orion Philosophy, where we explore, discuss and dissect areas of practical philosophy for use in everyday life. The Stoics have some of the best advice on anger I've ever come across, and I believe if you take some of these lessons to heart and learn from the philosophy that's been around for over 2,000 years, you can make a meaningful difference in the way you see the world, the way you see yourself, and the way you see other people. Today I'll be doing my best to keep the message as simple and accessible as possible, while not losing any of the value that the Stoics included in their message. And after this introduction, I'll go over some of the lessons that the Stoics actually said and wrote, which I think are almost guaranteed to make you look at life in a slightly different way. Anger has the ability to destroy the foundation of who we are. It hijacks our emotions and our capacity for reason. And as the Stoic philosopher Epictetus teaches us, it drags us down to the level of a wild beast, petty and malignant. But it doesn't have to. To the Stoics, anger is an emotion that erodes the fabric of who we are. It causes us to behave in ways that do not align with our values, morals and beliefs. And in doing so pushes us away from the person we want to be, and the life we want to lead. Often this push of anger is towards unethical, destructive and unvirtuous behaviour. These thinkers from ancient Greece believed that the path to happiness and a good life is found through a life of virtue, reason and behaviour that is deliberate and in alignment with our morality. Negative emotion, of which anger is one, not only prevents this, but it acts in contrast to it, drawing us further away. When we're faced with hardship, adversity or the abrasive behaviour of others, the Stoics argued that these events should not be permitted to control our emotions or permitted to control our thoughts. Instead, we should practice self-control, detachment, and focus on what we can do to improve the situation, whether that be removing ourselves from the source of the pain, or working towards rising above it, or passing through it with our peace of mind still intact. In general, the ancient Stoics saw anger as an irrational and destructive emotion, one that has the ability to destroy a life in seconds, and one that pulls us away from living the lives we want through its ability to ambush and control our emotions and our actions. As an antidote, they prescribed the practices of self-control, rational thinking, perspective, and the reminder that we only really have control over our thoughts and our actions. And the control of these two things should never be given to anything outside of ourselves. So here are some quotes and lessons from the Stoics themselves. From the Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Keep this thought handy when you feel a fit of rage coming on. It isn't manly to be enraged. Rather, gentleness and civility are more human, and therefore manlier. A real man doesn't give way to anger and discontent, and such a person has strength, courage and endurance. Unlike the angry and complaining, the nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength. Say to yourself in the early morning, I shall meet today ungrateful, violent, treacherous, envious, uncharitable men. All of these things have come upon them through ignorance of real good and ill. I can neither be harmed by any of them, for no man will involve me in wrong, nor can I be angry with my kinsman or hate him, for we have come into the world to work together. How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the cause of it? In the same degree in which a man's mind is nearer to freedom from all passion, in the same degree also it is nearer to strength. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Lessons from Epictetus. When we act pugnaciously and injuriously and angrily and rudely, to what level have we degenerated? To the level of the wild beasts. Well, the fact is that some of us are wild beasts of a larger size, while others are little animals, malignant and petty. Any person capable of angering you becomes your master. He can anger you only when you permit yourself to be disturbed by him. You must completely control your desire and shift your avoidance to what lies within your reasoned choice. You must no longer feel anger, resentment, envy, or regret. If you would cure anger, do not feed it. Say to yourself, I used to be angry every day, then every other day, now every third day or fourth day. When you reach 30 days, offer a sacrifice of thanksgiving to the gods. In the long run, every man will pay the penalty for his own misdeeds. When you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. Then you will forget your anger. Lessons from Seneca the Younger. The entire world would perish if pity were not to limit anger. Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. Anger is like a ruin which, in falling upon its victim, breaks itself to pieces. What is more cruel than anger? What is more affectionate to others than man? Yet what is more savage against them than anger? Mankind is born for mutual assistance, anger for mutual ruin. How much better to heal than to seek revenge from injury? Vengeance wastes a lot of time and exposes you to many more injuries than the first that sparked it. Anger always outlasts hurt. Best to take the opposite course. The greatest remedy for anger is delay. If you want to determine the nature of anything, entrust it to time. When the sea is stormy, you can see nothing clearly. Anger, though concealed, is betrayed by countenance. That anger is not warrantable which has seen two suns.